was ready.
We are live.
Thank you, everyone, for attending X-ray Platoon's graduation and final project showcase. My name is Francisco, and I'm one of the software engineers instructors at Code Platoon. I would like to thank our whole team, our volunteers, the mentors, teaching assistants, and board members who work so hard behind the scenes to make Code Platoon's X-ray Platoon a success. Next, I'd like to give a special thanks to our apprenticeship partners, DRW and Motorola Solutions, who committed to host some of our X-ray Platoon graduates for apprenticeships after graduation. I'd also like to thank Accenture's dedicated volunteer resume coaches for X-ray Platoons and our guest speakers from Travelers Insurance, whose workshop guided students in enhancing their LinkedIn presence. It is the support from these volunteers and many others that help provide real-world industry learnings and experiences for our graduates and prepare them for a successful career. For those of you who are not familiar with Code Platoon, we are a nonprofit coding bootcamp with a mission to help veterans, active duty service members, and military spouses launch successful careers as software engineers. The graduates have just completed an intense, immersive 15-week program. Every day, they have written software and learned new computer science and software engineering concepts and skills. The group projects you will see here this afternoon are the result of the graduates applying what they've learned over the past few months. Now, I would like to introduce our class president, Mikhail Wadal. Please, if you could please say a few words to represent X-ray Platoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. Hello, everyone. My name is Mikhail Waddell. I'm the class president for the X-ray Platoon. I'd like to welcome my fellow students, instructors, esteemed guests, and everyone watching online. I also want to take a moment to tag Code Platoon as an organization. Our instructors, TAs, mentors, volunteers, guest speakers, staff have stood by us, guided us, and pushed us when we needed it the most. To our families, friends who supported us, thank you for being pillars of strength. And to our fellow graduates, I am proud of what we have accomplished together. Today marks the conclusion of a rigorous 15-week immersive program, a program that challenged us, pushed us, and transformed us. But as we gather here today, I'm reminded that this isn't just the end of our time at Code Platoon. It's the beginning of something far greater, a new chapter in our lives. Each new start offers us the chance to grow, to evolve, to tackle challenge once seemed impossible. This is the essence of our journey. It's not just the developers, but as individuals. Growth, transformation, and the courage to embrace the unknown. The past few months at Code Platoon remind me of a famous quote by Marcus Aurelius. The quote reads, "The obstacle in the path becomes the path." Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. The challenges we face are not just obstacles, they are opportunities. All my classmates came to this program with their own history and a set of life circumstances. But we also shared some core similarities. We showed up, we did the work, we faced our task, and with the expert guidance of the staff here at Code Platoon, we conquered them. When we first started, the language of coding seemed foreign to many of us, the logic structures baffling, the errors unrelenting. But every failed test, every project that didn't work the first time, or the second time, or the third time, was an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow. What seemed like setbacks were actually moments that built our resilience. Each obstacle, instead of pushing us back, propelled us forward. What we've learned through sleepless nights of debugging code, through moments of doubt, is that those very obstacles have shaped us into the developers, thinkers, and problem solvers we are today. These moments were a chance for expansion, overcoming limiting beliefs, and evolving into the person you are meant to be. Whether it was mastering a new framework or collaborating under tight deadlines, we did more than survive. We thrived, not because it was easy, but because we embraced the challenge. Now we graduate into a job market that is uncertain, even difficult. It's natural to worry about what's next, finding the right job, wondering if the effort we put in will pay off in this environment. It's easy to be overwhelmed by the magnitude of this next challenge. While we can't control external circumstances, the state of the economy, the job market, or the decisions of hiring managers, what we can control is how we respond. We can choose to focus on what is within our power, our mindset, our preparation, our resilience, the same perseverance, the same problem-solving mindset that got us through COVID-2 will get us through this transition as well. It's about taking action where we can, improving ourselves every day, and remembering that setbacks are temporary. If one door doesn't open, we knock on another, or we build our own. We keep moving forward, knowing that even in adversity, we have the ability to grow stronger, to learn, and to eventually find our way. We've all had moments of doubt, moments where we questioned if we were good enough, if we belonged here, that notorious imposter syndrome. But look around, we made it. We're here, celebrating our graduation. That's proof that we are worthy, that we're capable of achieving anything we set our minds to. To the future students of COVID-2, you're about to embark on a journey that will test you in ways that you can yet imagine. There will be days where you feel overwhelmed, when the code doesn't make sense, when you wonder if you have what it takes. Well, let me tell you, you do have what it takes. Lean into the challenge. Lean into the resources available, because on the other side is growth beyond what you can foresee. Be patient with yourself. You don't need to know everything today. Focus on progress, not perfection. Each line of code, each error you fix, each new concept you grasp is a step toward becoming the developer, the person you are destined to be. And always remember, this program isn't just about coding. It's about discovering your inner resilience. It's about learning to see obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones. Where your fear is, that's where you grow. And every challenge you overcome will bring you closer to the future you're building. Finally, don't fall into the trap of comparison. Your journey is your own. It's not about being better than someone else. It's about becoming a better version of yourself each day. The real competition is within. That's where your focus should be. To my fellow graduates, we leave here today, not just as software developers, but as individuals who understand that the obstacle is the way. Whatever comes next, we will face with confidence, perseverance, and the knowledge that we are stronger because of the challenges we've already overcome. Congratulations, X-ray Platoon. Let's go out there and make every obstacle into an opportunity for greatness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mikhail, for all of your kind words. We will now move into our presentations. After each presentation, there will be a short time for questions, so feel free to put those in the comments during each presentation. The teams that will be presented today will be Bonsai, Foundations of Programming, Event Master, and Dealer Dragon. We will start off with Bonsai, with a team of Murad, Gary, Dustin, Daniel, and led by Mikhail.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel. Today, my team and I will be presenting our e-commerce site called Bonsai. So, the Bonsai website is designed with a minimalist approach, offering a range of resources for first-time buyers and long-time customers. It provides a calm, Zen-like experience, complete with a chatbot for assistance and a social platform for community engagement. Remember, it's more than just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. So, here's our team. I'm just kidding. Here is our actual team. So we have Mikhail as the developer lead, me as the front end, Momo for the back end, Justin for the AI integration, and Gary for the 3D and QR code integration. Now I'd like to pass it off to our team lead, Mikhail.
Thank you, Daniel. We're here at the main landing page of the Bonsai website. We went with a subtle minimalist aesthetic that would evoke a calm Zen-like feel that we're going for. As you can see, with the subtle shades of green and white, and also the minimalist navigation menu. You click on it here, we also see that the background accents change color. You hover over a menu item. When you scroll down here, we see the features of the Bonsai products that we're selling. Plants, planters, and accessories. We also see some of the benefits of owning a bonsai plant. When we go further down, we see what the customers have to say about the site. And then we have a 3D model of the world here with the caption, "Save the World, Plant a Tree." This model, you can interact with it, so you can zoom in as well as zoom out and manipulate the globe. You can spin it around at your leisure. It's pretty cool. Now we're at the bottom, so we have a scroll to top button. When we click on it, it brings us back to the top. We also made sure that this site looks as good in mobile as well as it does in the desktop mode. You can see here, when we click on the navigation menu, it still functions. You can still see everything. When you scroll down, you can still see all the items just as you did before, and we changed the review to a paginator, and the globe is still able to be zoomed in and manipulable. So we can go back up to the top and continue the rest of the demonstration in desktop mode. So now I will assume the identity of Mary. She heard about the website and wants to buy a bonsai plant for her mother-in-law. So we'll click the Explore Nature button, and then we're presented with this page that has all the products available on the website. And you can click on the paginator here, and we can scroll through all the items present on the site. So Mary clicks on the Satsuki Azalea bonsai that caught her eye, and she sees it has 2 reviews. Go down, Julie says, "My mom loves it," and Owen says, "Subtle and elegant plant." But Mary also sees that the plant is out of stock, so she is unable to add it to her cart. She goes back, and then she sees the Korean Yew bonsai. She clicks on that, sees that it's currently in stock, so she adds it to her cart. Mary also realizes that she needs some accessories for the bonsai. So then she goes here. You see the cart has 1 item. You hover over shop, and you're able to navigate all the categories here. She sees the watering can, so she adds it to the cart, and then she also adds the shovel to the cart. Now you see the cart get updated with 3 items. And now Mary has second thoughts about buying the shovel, so she removes it from the cart. You see the subtotal get updated, and now she proceeds to check out. Mary is not registered with the site, so she clicks on the register button. Now she has to put in her information. So now Mary is logged in. As you can see, her profile is now there in the nav bar. And she goes to her cart. She sees the 2 items are still there. Now she can proceed to checkout. You see her address is automatically updated. And her payment method, she chooses PayPal. And you can see here, she has her order summary. All the items look okay. She's going to place the order. We are connected to the PayPal API, so now all Mary has to do is input her PayPal account information, and she'll be able to purchase the items. So you see right there, Mary's email. Now she has to put her password in. She logs in and says, "Hi, Mary." You see the subtotal, $165.55. She clicks complete purchase. And you see it gets updated to paid. It has yet to be delivered. So now we will go to the profile page. So we will allow access to our location. We are connected to the Open Weather API, so we get current weather updates based on our location. You can see here my orders. So you see that she paid for the item, but it is yet to be delivered. She can click on the details, and she can see the details of her purchase. And now I will assume the identity of an admin for the site. So now Mary just logged out, and we'll log in as an admin user. Sign in. Now we're an admin user. As an admin user, you have access to all the users of the website, as well as some other features. You can see over here on the sidebar, you have access to the products. So with the products, you're able to create a product and update its description, as well as how much of the product is in stock. And you also have access to the orders. So we see here, Mary made an order and she paid for it, but it's not delivered. So you can click on the details and see the details of the order. And you see that she paid for it, but is yet to be delivered. But as an admin, you're able to mark it as delivered. So click that. Now it's delivered. So now we will log out and log back in as Mary to see the updated status of her order. So now we're going to go to Mary's profile again, and then we go to details, and you see the order says delivered. And that's all I have. I will now hand it back over to Daniel.
Thank you, Mikhail, for that demonstration. All right, now I'll be assuming the role of someone that hasn't bought a bonsai tree yet, but is particularly interested. So we have this customer named Danielle. See, we have no orders yet. Maybe because she's scared on how complicated it will be to take care of one. So we have this tab called Care Instructions. As you see here, there's just articles on how to take care of a bonsai tree. So she's interested and she clicks View here, and we are greeted with a bunch of information about how to prepare and take care of one. And she can see the author who created it. So she can rate it out of 5 stars, so we'll just rate it out of 4. And she can go on to the next page, etc. Now she's interested, but she can't wait that long because she's so excited to get her next bonsai tree. So we can go ahead and click on the Explore tab or Explore near us. And utilizing the Google Maps API, we can fetch Danielle's information on where's the nearest nursery/bonsai shop. As you see here, we don't see a lot, but as we zoom out, we can see we are greeted with several different options. If we hover one, we can see the reviews and the name. And if we click on one, we are redirected to the nearest one. So she's interested and she wants to see how far it is from her. She can click on this arrow key and we can click Get Directions. And we are led to the Google Maps website. As you see here, we can see how long it'll take and how far it is from Mary or from Danielle. Now, I'd like to pass it off to Gary to demonstrate his 3D integration.
Thank you, Daniel. Our application enhances the user experience by allowing the user to interact with products in 3D and in augmented reality. Within your profile, you'll have access to our 3D model room view. Here you can see some of the bonsais that we possess within the room. We've also integrated a QR code that if you were to scan with your phone, you'll be able to see a bonsai tree within your space. If you ever come across a plant that you cannot readily identify, you can upload an image to our plant identifier, and the plant identifier will be able to give you as much information as it possesses about the plant to help you identify what it is. You can see here the file was uploaded, and you can see the identification results. With that, I'll be passing it on to Murad.
Thank you, Gary. Ever wish to have your own space where you can share your brilliant thoughts, sharing your bonsai tree pictures, and interacting with the other users' experience in their blogs? I'm here today to introduce the Bonsai blog feature. Only users have been registered and have the credential to sign in will be able to access the blog page. As you see here, when I logged in as Murad, I can see my old posts that I shared before. I shared a couple pictures for my bonsai tree. Here I get like and comment on one of those posts. You can like and see here. it will increment. You can dislike. Also, user can create posts like here, hi, then move, and I can share this text with adding picture, post. See now, hi, I'm Moon, and my bonsai tree picture is here. You can comment on man. Hello. Post. We have now the comment hello. Everyone. Here it increment the number of comments. We can show it. That's it. And now for the next feature with my friend Dustin.
Thanks, Murad. I would like to introduce you to our Zen Master. Inside of your profile, you can find Zen Master. It's built using the Haystack pipeline and OpenAI, advanced components utilizing imported documents, specific embeddings, and custom prompts. Inside of our innocent Bonsai application, and at the heart of our chatbot, we've embedded the knowledge of Bonsai, Zen, and the real-life history of a legendary samurai. This allows our chatbot to not only provide advice on Bonsai and Zen, but also respond with the depth and wisdom of a former warrior who has embraced a peaceful path. This seamless integration of technology enables our Zen Master to consistently deliver unique, insightful guidance rooted in history, mindfulness, and tranquility, while always bringing the focus back to Bonsai. Give you an example. Say I came in here a little upset and maybe wanted to challenge Zen Master a little bit. Hello, Dustin, which greets us by name. In the art of bonsai, we do not prepare for battle, but rather for harmony and balance. The bonsai tree teaches us patience, precision, and connection with nature. Would you like to learn more about how caring for a bonsai tree can bring peace and mindfulness into your life? I'm feeling a little more tranquil. Let's see. Maybe it didn't work so much. I'm here for beer and destruction. Greetings, Dustin. Your words carry a weight of unrest, seeking solace in beer and destruction. May I offer you a different path, one of peace and contemplation. The art of bonsai teaches us to nurture life with patience and balance, much like the stillness of serene pond reflecting the world around it. How may I guide you towards a more tranquil journey amidst the chaos you seek? Well, now I'm feeling a little more tranquil, and I believe I'm ready to go buy a bonsai tree now. Thanks. Back to you, Daniel.
Dustin, thank you so much for that demonstration. So here is our tech stack. Here are some of the things we use to develop our e-commerce website. To start off with our front end, we use the Chakra UI, the React framework. For our back end, we use the Django model and the Django REST framework. For our third-party APIs, we use the Google Maps API, the PayPal API, and the OpenAI API. For our tools that we use to develop and design, we use Figma and TLDraw to make design decisions. However, there were challenges during this project. Some of the challenges were time management, 3D/QR code integration, incorporating third-party APIs, version control, and design decisions. But with every challenge, there's an opportunity to grow. So some of the things we'd love to see in the near future is deployment and to develop further into a social platform. Well, thank you guys for watching, and that'll be it from the Bonsai team. Remember, growing together, one challenge at a time. Thank you guys so much for watching.
All right. Thank you so much, Bonsai. Before we continue on to our next group, we're going to go ahead and open up the floor for questions. It seems we have a couple of questions from both YouTube and LinkedIn. Starting off with Bonsai team from LinkedIn. Love all the features you included on the app. The 3D design and QR code, super cool. Your project presentation is top notch. Was there anything you wanted to do, but weren't able to complete? Please go ahead, Daniel.
One of the things that we would love to do, but we couldn't get in because of time, was deploying the app. We really wanted to deploy the app because we went ahead with the mobile first interface, but unfortunately, due to time management, we had to cut things short, so we weren't able to Dockerize or deploy our app.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Go ahead, Gary.
We also wanted to add in some more to the 3D scene. Just wanted the camera to come in at a certain angle and rotate around the scene. Yeah.
All right, great. The next question we have is from YouTube. Did you use a Blender to create your 3D rendering? Second, did you use any new React router DOM hooks with the current release in your application? Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, so I did incorporate Blender. I did utilize a GLB file for the room itself, but then incorporated the actual bonsai trees into the room. Did some camera manipulations with the room itself. And then we did add in React 3 Fiber and React 3JS in order to get the camera rotations and the environment.
And as it pertains to the React hooks, we use Redux for state management. So we have the state reducer store. That's what we use for state management. So we didn't include any of the new React hooks in there, just Redux.
Got it. Thank you, Mikhail. The last question that we have here from YouTube is going to be, how did you set up your AR capability?
So that was using a site called Echo 3D. We also attempted to use the Google modeler. So Google has its own page for you to follow the instructions to add in a model. So originally it was their model, and then I ended up using Echo 3D, and then I used their QR code, uploaded a model, and then that made the QR code for me. It's actually easier to do on your own without having to use a third-party site if your site was live. If you already had your site set up, you could use a CDN and then incorporate the QR code that way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, Gary. Doesn't seem like we have any other questions, but we'll ensure to keep an eye on the chats on all the streaming services. Next, I would like to introduce Foundations of Programming. This project was completed by Eric, Joseph, Polly, Cody, and led by Brandon Neslish.
Hello, my name is Brandon, and I am here together with the Foundations of Programming team, a part of the Code Platoon full stack immersive program. The Foundations of Programming application is meant to exist alongside the live instruction Foundations of Programming course. This application is geared towards instructors and their ability to create, edit, and provide learning plans for their students. This application was built with a Django backend, a React.js frontend, and finally with PostgreSQL as a relational database manager. I look forward to everybody seeing this project, as we are very proud and spent a lot of time and effort in the past few weeks as a capstone project for our graduation. So thank you for your time, and let's get started. Before we get started talking about the awesome benefits and features of the Foundations of Programming application, I wanted to take a quick second to go over the GitHub repository. I built the GitHub repo in order to facilitate a clean code base. Here you can see a very robust and straightforward installation guide, which you could use to install this application on your computer. We decided to go forward with a feature branch-based development cycle. And what that means is that whenever someone came up with a new idea, they would create a branch, they would do their work, and then they would submit their work through a pull request. That pull request was then under review by a minimum of 2 reviewers. Once all of the changes were accepted and things looked good, or things were changed when they needed to be, we would then approve the pull request and merge it onto main. This led to a very clean and awesome coding experience with little to no merge conflicts. Now I would like to take our attention over to the tech stack diagram. This tech stack diagram is meant to show, in a little bit more of a robust way, exactly how our project was built. Here we can see all of our team members, and we flow into the Foundations of Programming application. On the left-hand side, you can see the React front end. We used React.js for all of our front end. For styling purposes, we decided to go with Tailwind CSS for class-based styling, and then finally Daisy UI for component styling. The Monaco editor on the front end is the VS Code editor API. We made this connection and decided to embed it into our project because VS Code feels so familiar and it's a really awesome code editor. On the right-hand side, you can see that we have on the back end Django. Django, with help of PostgreSQL and PsychoPG, all 3 communicated with each other in order to build our robust backend. This handled all of our models, our new courses, our features, and kept everything safe and saved. Whenever communication needed to happen between the backend and the front end, we used Django REST framework. This allowed for a very smooth and easy transition of data from the back to the front end and vice versa. Thank you for checking out the tech diagram. And now I'm going to head you off to the rest of the group members to go over some of the awesome features a part of our project.
Hi everyone, I'm Paola Alvarado. Today I'll be walking you through the login and sign up functionalities that we've implemented in our project. The systems are critical parts of the application, ensuring that our users can securely create accounts and access their profiles to interact with their features that we've built. I'll briefly go over how both work, what technologies we've used, and how they integrate with the rest of our project. Starting with the front end, we've created simple forms for both sign up and login. We'll start with the sign up, collects information such as name, email, and password for new users. So I will sign up for now. Now that we have successfully signed up, we are going to log out. The login component collects the user's email and password. And so we are now going to sign in. Both forms use React's useState for state management and handle inputs effectively. When the user submits either form, the respective functions handle login and handle sign up are triggered, sending a post request to our backend API using Axios. After a successful login and sign up, the session token is stored in the browser's local storage. The application state is updated and the user is logged in, giving them access to protect their routes like the homepage, as you can see here. In summary, our login and sign up functionalities are designed to be secure, user-friendly, and seamlessly integrated with both the front end and back end to our project.
Hello, everyone. My name's Cody, and I'm excited to walk you through one of the key features of our application, which is creating courses. This functionality is vital for expanding our educational offerings and providing valuable learning opportunities for our students. Now, as an instructor, you'll see I have the Create Course option above the top, so I'll go ahead and click that. And inside this course creation page, you'll see I have the option to input a title, course description, and then course fields of study. So we'll start off with Python. So I'll create Python for the title. and then type in a course description as the instructor for each student to be able to identify what the course is about. And then once I save here, goes to the backend API, sends it, and then to let the user know that it was created, we go to all course pages, and then you'll see your course right there. Additionally, we can create more courses, so I'll go back to create course. And as a future feature of our application, we'll be able to create other fields of study. So as an example, I'll just put Java. So this course will be entitled Java. Same thing, I'll let the student know what this course is about, and then we can click save. And then again, it just goes, the program lets the instructor know that it was created by navigating to the all course page. So in summary, the course creation feature is a key component of our application, allowing for the dynamic addition of new educational content. And it ensures that our course catalog remains up to date and relevant, allowing all instructors to view all courses.
Hello everyone, I'm Joseph, and I'm excited to be walking you through the feature of adding questions to courses in the Foundations of Programming web application. So here we are at the home page, and from here we're going to navigate to the courses page by clicking on courses. And so here you can see that we have 3 courses that were already added, and we're going to click on the view course details for the JavaScript fundamentals course. And then this here will navigate you to the actual course itself. And from here, you'll see that we can press the add a question button and then go on and add questions to our course. Here we have the prompt, which will be the actual question for the course. And so here we can just type in something like write a function that will return a value of true. And then we can put in our solution, which will be true. And then there's a learning content section, which you can write a small sentence describing what the content is that you will be learning here. And then we click the add a question. And now we can see that our question was successfully added to the JavaScript fundamentals course. And so now we can go ahead and we'll add 2 more questions. And so for the prompt here, we will put write a function that returns a value of 10. And then for our solution, we know it will be 10. And then for learning content purposes, you can write whatever you want. And then add a question. And we see that another question was successfully added to the course. And we'll do one more. And we'll say, write a function that returns a value of a string, hello world. And our solution will be the string hello world. And then for learning content, we can just put writing even more stuff. And then add a question. And now we have successfully added 3 different questions to our JavaScript fundamentals course. And then we click the button, done adding questions, and then that closes the window. And so in summary, we've just navigated to the JavaScript fundamentals course, and we've successfully added 3 different questions to our courses.
Hello, my name is Eric. Now that we have seen how to create a course and add questions to a course, we will now investigate how the user can actually navigate through the questions that we've created. So we're going to go ahead and navigate to our courses page, and we will click to start our JavaScript fundamentals course. On the top left corner, you will see the prior questions that Joseph had created for this course. And when we click this next button, we can actually navigate through each one of those questions. On the right half of the screen, you'll see a IDE. This is actually the Monaco IDE. It's the same IDE that powers VS Code. And we will demonstrate how the user can actually populate code into the IDE and have a result appear at the bottom of the screen. A future feature that we plan to implement is the inclusion of a full test suite, so the user can see how they are returning the response in accordance with the requirement of the question, as well as the implementation of a full suite for the actual students enrolled in the course to track their progress, as well as navigate through the rest of the course. So that is the full demonstration of our Foundations of Programming app. Now, at this time, we'd be happy to take any questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Foundations of Programming. Let's give it a second here. There may be some questions on the chat. One question from in-house is, was it challenging to integrate the code editor in your application?
Yes, so the editor itself came as a React component. So the challenge wasn't just putting it inside of the project. Implementing all of its features was really the challenging part. There are a lot of different settings that you can mess with and change to make it more user-friendly or change the styling. But overall, the implementation was straightforward. The documentation that came along with it was fantastic and was very easy to read. So that made the process a lot smoother for us.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Brandon. Very well. With no further questions, next, I would like to introduce Event Master.
Welcome. My name is Mickey, and today I have the privilege of leading our team and presenting our full stack group project, Event Master. Our team consists of Earljan, Garrett, and myself. Event Master is a comprehensive full stack web application designed to provide users with a seamless experience in discovering events and venues. Users can search for events based on keyword or location and are provided with external links for ticket purchases or venue information. Additionally, users can create an account, allowing them to save favorite events or even create their own. The application was outlined in Mural and designed using Figma, then developed using Django and React, with Git and GitHub for version control. Those frameworks are utilized to ensure a dynamic and intuitive user experience. Earljan will now walk us through the user authentication portion.
Hello everyone, my name is Earljan, and today I will be talking about the user authentication for our application. But first, I will demonstrate creating an account as well as logging in. With this, it allows the user to verify that that's the password that they want. And then after that, we will register and it will straight navigate us to our login page. From our login page, we will input the username that we registered for. Now that we're logged in, I will then talk about the token authentication that we are using. For our token authentication, we are using JWT token, also known for JSON Web Token. JWT token is a secure way of transmitting information between the server and the client. Basically, how it works is when the user submits a post request with their username and the password, the server will then create a JWT token and send it to the browser. And then the browser will then store it at a local storage or a cookie. Now, once the user wants to access any information or submit an information to the server will then check the token, because one of the advantages of JWT token is stateless, meaning that the token already contains the information of the user, such as the username and the password. So when the server checks the token and it already contains the username and the password, it will then respond accordingly compared to the other token authentication. For the model of creating our user, we are using the Django user model. This model already contains the fields necessary to create users, such as the first name, the last name, the username, password, and many more. Now back to our site. If we take a look at our application as well as the local storage, this is where you can see the token, the access token, as well as the refresh token that we stored to the local storage. Now that concludes the user authentication. I will pass it back to Mickey.
Hello again, and welcome to our front page where you have events near you, which is pulled up based on your zip code from your profile, or if you don't have a profile set up, it will pull automatically from the Chicago area. Under that, we have a row of sports events and music events. For any of these, you can scroll through and take a look at the additional information. And if you'd like to see more about a certain event, you can just click See More, which will pull up an informational page. If you've got your account set up, you can click to add to events, or you can remove that event from your saved events. Back on the main home page, you have the option to search either events or venues. If you search events, it will bring up a separate page of event results based on the keyword that you entered in. And if you search venues, it will do the same. For the venues, the only difference is there is no See More button, because the Buy Tickets button takes you to their page, which is where you can get all the information that you need if you are planning on setting up an event of your own. At the bottom, we have a footer where Garrett has entered in links to our GitHubs and our information. Up at the top, we have a drop down with My Events, Profile, and Logout. And on that note, Garrett will be walking us through the user profile setup and how to create an event.
Hello, I'm Garrett Gilbert with Event Master, and today I'll be going over the user profile page along with creating an event. So over here at our nav bar, you can see your username displayed on the top right. If you click it and click profile, it'll bring you here to your profile page. First thing you'll see is your first and last name, your username, your email, zip code, bio, and interests. If you want to change any of this, you can click the update profile button and fill out the fields below. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So once you finish filling the fields out, click update, and the screen will refresh with new updated information. And if you scroll down to your events, you can see your upcoming events you joined. These are public events gathered from the Ticketmaster API. These are the events displayed on the home, sports, or music pages. So from your profile screen, you can interact with them by removing the event or clicking See More to go to the specific events page. So we can click See More. You can see the information on the event. We can click Buy Ticket. That'll redirect us to Ticketmaster to purchase tickets for the event. Or you can also remove the event and it will refresh your upcoming events you've joined. So if you scroll down a bit more, you can see events you're hosting. And these are user created events. So I will go ahead and show you how to create an event. So you scroll up to this create event button and you'll fill out all these fields below. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate it. Alright, so now that I have all the fields filled out, I click Create Event. If you scroll down, you can see that the Chargers Watch Party has been added to our events we're hosting. And if we decided not to host the event anymore, we can click Delete Event, and that will remove the event from events you're hosting. And that's all from the user profile page and creating an event, and I'll be passing it over to EarlJan for development hurdles. Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett. Now, let's talk about the development hurdles or challenges that we encountered as a group while building this application. First is the API. In the beginning, we wanted to create a meetup.com clone. Unfortunately, when we found out, that the Meetup API requires us to pay in order for us to use the API, we wanted to look for a different option until we found the Ticketmaster, and then we used that instead. The second hurdle that we encountered was team schedules. This includes different time zones and hours of productivity. Each of us are in different time zones. One is in PST, the other's in CST, and I'm in EST. And the other one is also the hours of productivity, because some of us are more productive during morning and some are more productive in the afternoon. And in order for us to overcome this hurdle, we communicate through our Slack group by the changes that we made or the codes that we implemented, so that all of us are tracking with the new code. And so that when we go through our code, we make sure that we make a pull request so that all the changes that was implemented, we go off of that, and then we'll add our implementations next. The third feature that we encountered was the feature plan. When we initially wanted to create the meetup.com clone, we built all these features that we wanted to create, but when we started not using the Meetup API and used the Ticketmaster instead, we had to plan for different features because both APIs has different informations. The last hurdle that we encountered was different ideas. All three of us have different ideas, so there's gonna be clashing of ideas on how things are implemented or how things should be designed. So in order for us to overcome this challenge, we utilized our stand-ups and stand-downs to talk about our ideas, and then we'll talk it out, and if the other person does not agree, we'll come to a common ground on how things should be implemented. But if the other person does not, or if we don't come to a common ground, we take a vote, and if there's two people voted to one idea, then we go to that idea. Otherwise, we go to the other idea. Now that concludes the development hurdles and the challenges that we encountered as a group. I will pass it back to Garrett, and he will talk about the feature plans of our application.
Hello, I'm back to go over EventMaster's future implementations. We have lots of ideas in the making right now for our application, but here are the primary implementations we plan on adding. We will be implementing Google Calendar to keep track of your events and to export them to your calendar. We'll be adding interactive Google Maps to see events going on near you on the map. Created events will be searchable for other users to join and bookmark. We will also be implementing adding images for your profile picture and event flyers. We'll also be adding a big list of interests for users to choose from, which will help for showing users events near them that they would most likely be interested in. And lastly, we plan on using AWS to deploy our project. That's all from us over at EventMaster. We greatly appreciate you for your time, and we hope you have a great day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Event Master. We have a question here from in-house. Did you consider making it so users can add their interest and your app would give them personalized events?
We absolutely did. That's on the list of features that we want to get integrated into the app. Just having suggested events is a great feature. We just had a hard time having the bandwidth with our team size to be able to put in all the features that we wanted to.
Speaking about team size and team management, along with how you guys were divided in so many different time zones and your different times of productivity, as we all know, life does come across the way, and I believe the majority of your team was also still active duty while participating in this project. Was there any special lessons that you took out of team management from this experience? And if so, could you talk about them?
I think organization of our goals and making sure we were on the same page was probably the biggest thing we did. We took having our stand up and stand down meeting every day pretty seriously and made sure we were all on the same page with what tasks needed to happen and who was working on what areas of the project, so we didn't have any issues with GitHub with merge conflicts.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Does anyone else here have a question for Event Master? Very well. If there are no other questions for Event Master, I will now like to present our final presentation. This is Deal or Dragon.
Okay, welcome to Deal or Dragon. Let's start by logging in. Check out this profile. Two wins already. How exciting. I wonder how many more I can get. We're definitely creating a new character. I mean, do you see all of these customizable options? I am naming you Mighty Me. You are going to be so very charismatic. Let's go with fantasy. Let's see if I can beat this dragon. Okay, the first thing I'll do is sell this sword. What sword do you ask? Sword of Power! Okay, yes, I know I am an AI voice. This must be very weird for all of you, right? But, I mean, this is an AI battle. Artificial intelligence versus artificial intelligence, right? Who could ever be a better narrator than me? Okay, back to selling this amazing sword of power. There are other buyers, dragon. It's all about balance. This dragon remembers. He will not fall for the same tactic again and again. Okay. He's asking me if the sword has magic abilities. Maybe I'll push for the He-Man reference one more time and tell him that he needs to shout, "I have the power." A compliment here, a compliment there, using those charisma stats in my favor. Oh, you are amazing, dragon. You are too smart. To be honest, this is such a good exercise in creative writing. And I don't say that just because I'm being forced to. I don't. I swear. Time to mention Lord of the Rings and talk about Smaug. We're just going to fast forward the rest. As you can see, this is a challenge. The dragon is very reactive. You need to adapt and apply strategy, or you will run out of turns. But with a little convincing and a lot of creativity, you can win. Your win will be added to your profile, and you can check out the success rate of your different characters. Take the time to develop various strategies, but above all, have fun. This was Deal or Dragon, the game. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hello everybody, my name is Brandon Yo, and I'm here to talk to you about the front-end design of our Deal or Dragon project, so let us dive right in. So here we have the login page of the project. First thing I wanted to show is if I refresh this page, you get our animation for our logo, Deal or Dragon. Try to keep it a very mobile game feel-like, as you can see. And we have these two buttons here. These buttons, as you'll see throughout the rest of the page, are reusable components with different backgrounds that Erica has graciously designed. And if we click the login here, you get a pop-up, which is also reusable. My goal throughout the page was to create these reusable components that could be distributed throughout the page to keep the design flow and the style of the page similar. So the text is autofilled already. We can hit the submit button and get the opening doors animation to get to our logged in homepage. So starting top to bottom, we have our player name here at the top, which is just player right now, our gold, which is 20, and we have our avatar, which you can actually click and select a different profile avatar. So let's go ahead and pick one here. This actually saves to the user backend. We also have a drop-down menu here, where if you click this, you get another pop-up. This is a reusable pop-out you'll see throughout the page. You get the game information if you need that. You have the settings page, which you can change your display, email, and last, your password. This button takes you to the home page, which we are currently on, and this button logs you out. The next thing I worked on was the profile page. So the profile page here has the same basic information such as your player name, but it also includes your wins and losses which you accumulate through playing the game, as well as up to 4 characters which get displayed here. I only have 1 for now, but you see if we click the character, we get taken to the character page, which you can see the character stats. The next thing I wanted to talk about was our GitHub. So I created our GitHub repository and did a lot of the management on it. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about to avoid a lot of the merge conflicts and code base issues that I knew would happen throughout the project was having these rule sets. So having this rule set to protect your main branch, I found working especially in a group made it very, very convenient to not have any merge conflicts into the main branch, because your main branch should contain all of the code that actually works when it's merged. We have a testing branch as well as a main branch. Everybody merges into testing to test and see if their code works as they merge it. And then once the code works, they merge it to main branch. So this rule set basically makes it so that you cannot merge it into main and break everybody else's code. I wanted to talk about a few quick challenges that we had. I just mentioned that we had a bunch of merge conflicts. Other GitHub actions I would probably have in a group project are pulling daily and pushing daily so that you have the most up-to-date code on your GitHub project. We ran into that problem a couple of times, and I would definitely say that is one of the biggest things I learned about working in a group project. So thank you very much.
How are we doing today? I'm Len Kedger, and I want to share with you my experience and learning from creating the Deal or Dragon application. My journey on this started on the first day after we had our group discussion, when I put together this Figma page, which is meant to be very sparse and ready for a rapid prototyping. And it just simply has the sign-in page, character selection page, character creation page, and then what it would look like possibly if we started the game page. And from this, Brandon really developed what I would call the Rev 1 of the app image. But I'm not going to steal Brandon's thunder. I'll let him talk to you about that.
All right, thank you, Len. So here we have the Figma page for our Deal or Dragon project, and as we scroll through the page, you can see it has a very mobile feel. I would say that Figma was incredibly important in the planning of our front end, because although it changed from an 8-bit field to a different style, the layout of the elements on the front end are actually incredibly similar to what we have here in the Figma, and it really helped the styling and layout as we were designing the front end so that we didn't have to come up with new things. I would say Figma is a fantastic tool for web design, and I had a great time using it.
So while Brandon was working on mocking up the application on the front end, I started working on the game application in the back end, which you see here in DrawSQL, where I built all the models, the user and the character, which are separate from the game app, which you can see here on the right hand side. The real only difference here is that the environment ended up turning into both the theme and the location. And our thought process behind this was, as we go forward and make new themes, we can always attach monster or monsters to them and create new locations. And by having them separated, this made a more robust starting point. This leads me to my big takeaway in this whole experience of developing this application, and that is finding the feature of signals in the Django framework. What signals is it decouples components within your application so that events can happen later in time. You can think of this as like a family calendar, where mom could schedule an event, and on that day, the kid or the dad gets the notification. We specifically use signals in our application when we created a database to preload the information we understood about locations and names and enemies, while leaving the user and the character in the game open to be developed when the game actually starts. So yeah, that was my adventure and takeaways from working on the Deal or Dragon application. I appreciate all my team members and all their hard work. It was fun. Thanks for letting me share.
Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Bleeker and I'll be talking about my personal experiences with our group project. I think that while we did have some challenges from time to time, that ultimately our drive to make an excellent project won out, and we were able to overcome those challenges together and create a united front in making this game, Deal or Dragon. We put a lot of work into it throughout the 2 weeks. I think that had we had more time in the planning phase, we probably could have done even more. But again, 2 weeks didn't leave a lot of time to really plan out all of the things in the project. And so a lot of the things had to be figured out on the fly. And we did run into some difference in opinions on those things, but I think in the end, we pushed through them and just kept working. And I'm happy with our results. One of the things I personally worked on would have been the character creation, as well as the game setup. So character creation, in this image here, you're actually overlaying different SVG images. And then when you hit the next button, it's actually converting all of those, drawing all those on a canvas and converting them to a PNG image, and then saving that image into the back end. And then you can add character stats up to 5 points with all your stats starting at 1. And then when you select that character, you can select then a theme, whether it be fantasy or modern, and start your adventure. And that'll take you to the chat, which is where the game actually takes place. So those are the things that I worked on. Ultimately, I think I learned a lot from working as a team, and I'm happy that we get to share this with you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erika Holzinger, and I'm excited to talk a bit more about our awesome AI boss fights and the creative side of the game. The main feature I focused on was developing and training the chat assistant that powers these boss fights. The concept revolves around creating a character and convincing an AI boss to purchase an item. I trained the OpenAI assistant and developed the connections to Django, which allow our game to communicate with the AI. I also wrote the prompts and designed the logic behind how the AI boss reacts. The goal was to make it adaptive and responsive to player actions, ensuring that every interaction felt unique and challenging. I'd like to dive deeper into how the AI assistant works and what makes it unique in our game. The assistant is trained to simulate realistic interactions with players, specifically in our AI boss fights. I designed instructions to guide the assistant's behavior. These instructions help it understand the player's actions and react appropriately depending on the situation. They are very extensive and they took a good amount of time to fine-tune. For the training dataset that's attached over here, I created a collection of example conversations and decision-making scenarios. This dataset was crucial in shaping how the assistant responds, making sure it feels both challenging and fair. The dataset includes a variety of player actions like persuasion attempts, logical arguments, or even emotional appeals, and the assistant learns how to handle each one of them differently. The goal was to create an experience that felt dynamic and adaptive, ensuring that no two boss fights are the exact same. On the creative side, I developed all the graphic art for the game, including the character creation components and game demo editing. This video you're watching was also edited by me. Honestly, it was a lot of fun to work on the SVGs and all of the different components of the game. And Kyle did such an amazing job compiling them and saving them as a PNG in the back end and then calling them back and forth so that we could display them everywhere. It was a great team effort and I had a lot of fun doing this. Working on this project was an incredible team experience. What I appreciated the most was how everyone collaborated. Not just on isolated components, but across all parts of the game. The entire game logic was a team effort, and we had to work very closely to make sure everything fit together smoothly. It was not like everybody was working on different components that then merged together, but everybody was working on everything. I think most of us contributed to coding different parts of the game, which brought its own challenges, but also enriched the experience. I'm pretty sure every single one of the pages and parts of the databases have code from every single one of us in there. This project reflects not just our teamwork, but the passion each one of us put into something we genuinely enjoy. And I'm very proud of the product we ended up creating, and I think everybody did amazing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game too.
Hey, my name is Christopher Roberts, and I would like to talk about the challenges and what I learned and what I did in the project. So I'll start out with the challenges. So the biggest challenge that I had with working in a group project, in a group setting, was our Git requests, where we pull and push and merge from different branch, especially the main or the testing branch, to see if our code works with everyone else's code. And sometimes it could be some conflicting things going on there where we had to delete or talked about. It was just a lot of time-consuming concept to fix those issues, but eventually we got it done and pushed through it. But it was definitely a lot to go through. Next, I'll be talking about what I learned. What I learned was Trello. So this is how we manage our different tasks throughout the projects, from what's in progress and then from what's done, and then the links to reference for different things. And so this is how we plan our project to the best of the ability. That was pretty interesting and definitely a good path or a stepping tool to follow. Next, I'll be showing what I did in the project. So what I did in the project was the actual backend to save characters. So you can have multiple characters you can select from, and you can also delete. And I think you can hold up to 4 characters at a time to select from, and that all works from the backend. Well, that was it for me. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
All right, that was Deal or Dragon. The very first question we have here from YouTube is, was the AI implementation taught or self-taught? That's impressive.
The model is trained on a data set, and it's also trained on instructions that are very specific and have been fine-tuned. But it also works with thread memory. So basically, we'll remember the entire conversation and all the actions of the player. And if the player is trying a strategy repeatedly, it will consistently try to avoid, or it will lose its efficiency.
Got it. The next question we have is, where can we go to play this game?
I can take that one. So we are currently working on cleaning up some code and in the process of deploying. So the best answer I have is very soon, but we do have a demo repository that you can take a look at the code.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. And then final question is, this is a great project. What was the hardest part of building it?
Len, do you want to take that?
Yeah. So, I mean, from my point of view, from the hardest part for me, and I think really for all of us, like Erica said, we all were doing everything at the same time. And there was a point where Kyle was polishing the character on the front end and leaving the the JavaScript object there for me to pick up in the game and then pass into Django. So, and then at the same time, Erica was like refining and training. This is pretty early on too, was training the model and really making it what it is. And I had to take that information and then pull them together in the back end, and then sling the data back to the front end, and then get the chatbot working. And every single time I went to do something, it was like, oh, that didn't quite work the way we thought it did. And so, like, slinging the data throughout the components is really where I think my biggest challenge was. The big success was finding the thread ID with the Dealer Dragon, or in the AI that Erica did. Erica used the assistant, which is like the new level undocumented things from ChatGPT or OpenAI, and it was like heavily not documented, but there were like these little breadcrumbs throughout the thing. And so we were like, what does this mean? And so just putting in logger commands to figure out where the thread was, once we had that and had the memory, it really helped us smooth things along. It's pretty sweet.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, Len. Any other questions for Deal or Dragon? All right. It doesn't seem like there are any other questions. This concludes the presentation portion of our program, but there are still a few things left before we conclude. We would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the hard work and long hours put in by our TAs. Adam Weiss, Aiden Lang, Connor Keenum, Rich Kivon, Rachel Snyder, thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the success of our X-ray Platoon students. Now we'll open the floor for the class instructors to say a few words. Starting with our program director, Adam Cahan.
Hello. And Francisco, thank you. Dear students, and now graduates, and now fellow software engineers. It's been a pleasure working together with you all and going on this journey together. 15 weeks ago, we were doing Install Fest, learning what a unit test was, and ironing out the rituals of stand up, stand down, and me making sure to notice when someone raised their hand in Zoom. It feels like a million years ago. And I hope that looking back from then till now, there's indeed a transformative aspect of this for all of you. With my fellow teacher, Francisco, and myself, and our crucial behind the scenes Code Platoon teammates, we've been on this journey before with many different cohorts, but it's different every time. And just to speak for myself, I learn new things and grow and improve from every cohort. And working with all of you is truly a two-way street. So thank you. The two things I hope you all carry with you as you begin your careers and years from now, when you are all leaders and senior engineers and CTOs and business owners, or wherever you would like your career to take you, is first, that you've all learned how to learn anything under the sun, and that the journey of learning is a never-ending one. And second, that although it often can take more work, more sweat, more thought, and more effort, working together, we're able to accomplish more and greater things than we are on our own. Thank you, and on behalf of Code Platoon, we are excited to see where you all go in your careers.
Thank you so much, Adam. For myself, first, I would like to thank everybody here. As a student, I myself being a prior student, I know how difficult this program can be. And it's not an understatement, right? We just committed to going through 15 weeks, and it's not just show up for 8 hours, you're done with those 8 hours, now you get to spend time with your family. Many of you gave up valuable time with your family, valuable time with yourself, and other resources that you could have spent improving yourself, and you gave it all to Code Platoon. In return, I hope that myself and Adam, as instructors, were able to give you guys all the tools necessary to go out into the world and, conquer whichever career path you decide to go out and take over. So thank you so much, everyone, for all the hard work that you put forward. And thank you for making my experience as an instructor, again, a joyful experience, getting to see everybody go from the very first week of instruction, where we're learning how to establish variables, write loops, and then coming to the very last week of Code Platoon, where I'm getting questions regarding servers, APIs, and challenging technical questions. It is a fascinating experience as an instructor to watch all of you grow. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And I hope that all of you go and do bigger, better things out there. All right. Now we'll open the floor. Oh, excuse me. Now we're going to go ahead and roll into our closing ceremony. Erica Holden. Kyle Bleeker. Michael Gardner. Joseph Lario. Mikael Warel. Len Pedro. Brendan Nestlers. Christopher Roberts, Cody Ingensmith, Daniel Panatone, Gary Gilbert, Brandon Yo, Raven Belonti, John Rodriguez, Eric Max, Gary Dunnigan, Paola Alvarado, Leonard Ventura, Thank you so much, X-ray Platoon. Last but not least, I would like to announce the honor graduates of X-ray Platoon's cohort. We have Earljan Rodrigo, Brandon Yo, and Erica Holzinger. All three of these students achieved a 100% academic score and attendance score throughout the entire 15-week immersive program, accomplishing 5 assessments where they passed all available test suites and completed not only in-class work, but were present during all classroom hours. This concludes our ceremony for today. Thank you for participating in today's events. Congratulations, X-ray Platoon.